More than 100 health and welfare experts are calling for the act of smacking kids to be made a crime, with a Queensland law review into domestic discipline potentially triggering nationwide changes. Currently, laws provide a key defence against assault charges when striking kids, allowing for reasonable corporal punishment. But experts want that defence scrapped, saying children deserve to have the same protections against assault as adults or pets. For their take, let's bring in WA Opposition Leader Basil Zempilas and Sunshine Coast Mayor Rosanna Natoli. Good morning to both of you.
Morning.
Basil, should we ban smacking, not only ban it, make it a criminal offence?
Yeah, it's really interesting, isn't it? My view's probably changed or perhaps softened on this. As a parent, when the kids were in nappies, a little tap on the nappy, which as everyone knows is quite thick, I kind of thought was okay. But I must admit I'm sort of rethinking that now, and the act of that violent looking act may or may not be. I think it comes down to the force, but then this is the problem, isn't it? How do you judge what the right force is, what the wrong force is, and what is acceptable and what is not? So I understand this conversation, actually, and I think my view is probably changing. And in 10 years or so, if smacking is banned altogether, we'll probably look back and go, can you believe you used to be able to smack kids?
Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it? Because we talk about politicians changing their minds, but I think most people who are thoughtful, we do change our minds on a lot of things, don't we, as we get older. Rosanna, what do you think?
I think, let's be real here, we're talking about hitting that is either to the head, face or neck, or that leaves an injury. So that's how they're defining it for this legislation. And I think that as a society, when you've got really credible organisations like Braveheart or the Daniel Morecambe Foundation behind this, then we do need to listen. And, you know, as a parent, on a personal note, I deeply regret that on the rare times when I did really lose control and I smacked my children, that wasn't out of clear discipline plan, it was out of frustration. So I think that as a society we have moved on, and we need to make it a clear message that violence is not the answer. Violence is not okay. So really, I think this is actually where we need to go as a society.
Yeah, and I think the old arguments of, oh, we were hit as a kid, it doesn't really wash now. We didn't have seatbelts either. Moving on, school attendance. But tell us what you think. We're interested. School attendance levels are plummeting since COVID, with 4 out of 10 Australian students skipping at least a month of classes in 2024. The new data has prompted frustrated principals to make a plea to parents, asking them to force children to go to school and build their resilience. Basil, is it a resilience problem?
I don't know if it's resilience or whether it's a lack of supervision or there are just other things that people can get away with, young kids can get away with. I'd be really interested to know, do the parents think the kids are at school and they're finding their way somewhere else after leaving home, getting off the bus, etc., or is this happening with somehow the parents either supervision or at least some knowledge? The best place for kids, the best place for Aussie kids is in school. It's the best environment for them to learn and be nurtured outside the family home and the family unit. And so whatever it takes, getting kids back into school and their attendance rates up is of vital importance. And I think this should be a really, really big focus for Australia as a whole.
Yeah, Rosanna, it's gone from 73% attendance before COVID to under 60, and 1 in 3 kids skipped at least one day of school each fortnight. How do we get to this?
I know, and if you think of one day a fortnight, that is, you know, that's 10%. We're looking at missing a month of school. And school is not just about learning the facts and the figures, it's about learning life and work and reality means that you have to actually turn up. So I think being there is the first step. We need to encourage our children to show that resilience and to actually turn up. So I think that is what we want from our children. It's what we want from our staff. It's what we want from the people when we go to work, our colleagues. So I think turning up really is something we do want to teach.
And now, where are they? If they're not at school, where are they? Are they at home or have they gone somewhere else? Are they in the shopping mall? And then has everyone else got a role to play then? Is that where we get to, where this kid looks like they're a school-age kid, should be at school? Who can I ring to let them know? But kids need to be at school. They have to be.
Yeah, finally, new rankings from the Happy City Index have been released. Adelaide ranked as the happiest city in this country. Adelaide was 29th globally. Canberra, Melbourne, Sydney and Brisbane all rounded out the top 5 locally.
What?
Basil. On the Australian list, Perth came in last in 9th place and also 165th globally. Baz.
I was happy before you showed me that. Now I am unhappy and I'm in Perth. And I think it's because of that list. I'm calling bull-tish on this list. I mean, you know, Natalie, you know, we are happy people over here, partly because we're isolated from everybody else and you're all over there and you don't bother us. So I would like to know who was polled on this, how did they come up with it, and how could we possibly be so low? Perth, of all places.
You know what? When I walked in and the producers told me this, they are the exact questions I asked. I'm like, who did this survey? This can't possibly be right.
We take this sort of stuff personally.
Yes, I know. Rosanna, what do you think about the survey?
Well, up here in Queensland, we know how good we've got it. We don't need a survey to tell us how fantastic it is. And if you look at the Sunshine Coast, we're probably too busy enjoying, well, the sunshine and the slower paced life to fill in the survey. That's why we didn't rank, because we didn't bother filling in the survey, because we know how good it is.
You're all at the beach. OK, thank you. Have a happy Thursday. Here's Sherbo.